We are live. Good morning, everybody. Before I introduce you to my guest today, I will just go through the hellos. Hello, Tracy. How are you, love? Hello, Chris. Hello, DQ. Hello, Sarah Bryce. Hello, Amber. Hello, Liz. Hello, Tessa. Hello, Angie. She's working and working. Let's go. Hiya, Cindy. Oh, Practical Magic. Love that movie. Oh, bad news on the crafting table. That sucks. Lisa, hello. Gimme, hello. Angela, hello. Mama Angela. Lisa, I've got. Okay, I think we're caught up. Right. We have a special guest today. Yeah. If I miss anyone, so this is Pete. Now, who can guess who Pete is?
Okay.
Yeah, you be quiet and check seats. Hi, Rose. Hi, Sarah.
There's nothing short about this seat. I've got to share it with a midget.
Sarah got it in one. Hi, Tijuana. It is Kenzie's and Jordan's dad.
Oh.
Glad you're feeling good. So you're all going to be nice to Pete, aren't you? He's a little bit nervous. He's never been on a live before. This is his first live. We figured it would be nice for you guys to get the full package. And we've got Pete coming on today, and tomorrow night we've got Gracie coming on, and then on Thursday night we're going to have a meet and greet with Rory. So Jeremy, hello. Christopher, hello. My squishy. Tessa, there is I will get someone to send you a link to where to get ABs in Australia. Hiya, Diane. Getting all the hellos out of the way. Hiya, Stacey. Yep, Jenny's in the background.
I'm in the background. I'm actually working, guys. For a change, I'm doing some work.
Right. So, for those that are just coming in, this is Mackenzie's and Jordan's dad. He is their biological dad because they both have two dads, and Pete is still very much active in their lives, and we are still friends. So we'll just get that out of the way. So,
Yep. I still call you pretty much my best friend.
No, bless your bum.
But I'm working on finding a best friend over this side of the
This side of the pond.
Yeah. For those who haven't worked out, I'm not in Australia.
No.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, Pete's still in New Zealand. So guys, you've had a lot of information filed at you guys or thrown at you guys in the last 2 days. Pete's going to give a little bit of a rundown of what it's been like for him as a dad. So what we're trying to give you guys is a overall perspective of what a family with a child with autism looks like, by giving you all our views and how it's affected. Because autism, while the person with autism is the main focus, there is a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and there is a lot of stresses that go for the family. And so what we're trying to do is give you guys an overall view of what our family looks like, and what it's looked like in the past and what it looks like now, and how the things we've been through with Kenzie has looked like. You've had my story, you've had Jordan's story, and today you're going to get Pete's story. And then Thursday night you'll get a very, very small story of Rory, because he doesn't like talking on lives, but he's coming on anyway. And so yes, everyone, can you see the comments there, Pete, so you can read them, or do you need me to read them out?
I'll get you to read them out because basically I've just got the screen and nothing else showing up for me.
Okay, that's fine. So Sarah's saying, hello, are you in Tauranga? Yes, he is. I can answer that one. And everyone's saying hi and welcome. So
Hello.
the main...
Hello, everyone.
Sorry. The main thing that I've been wanting to do for this awareness month that Angie and I both read on is giving you guys the real stories. We have some amazing guests coming up in the week. I'm still organising some. So yeah, so Pete, you've been a part of the equation, obviously, since Kenzie was born and beforehand, because you're her father.
You mean she wasn't born under a cabbage patch?
No, she wasn't. We did not find her in the cabbage patch. So tell us some of your, like, what you remember from like those early days when it was very stressful and like getting the autism diagnosis and how it felt. And yeah, hey baby cat. Mwah. And yeah,
Right.
so
Well, from the earliest days, I think it really really kicked off that there was something wrong, that she basically collapsed and stopped breathing. Because up until that day, we figured everything was normal, everything was fine, and then suddenly it wasn't.
Yeah.
And you remember the trip up to the hospital? I lost count of how many trips up to the hospital we had. It almost became a second home for a while.
It did.
But I remember you were the one who basically did all the research, understanding what Kenzie was going through when she had diagnosed with very little muscle tone. You were the one who went online, found some exercises for her, and as a result, she was walking a year before anyone thought she'd crawl. But yeah, I was sort of not so much in the background, but doing the legwork while you did the head work, and that was fine. But yeah, together we made it work. And I was I don't know if I ever said it, I was always kind of optimistic and thinking, okay, just a delay, it'll get better, she'll catch up, so on and so forth. And eventually we got the autism diagnosis. And it was like, okay, there's a reason she's not developing as fast as others. We have to work with it. And yeah, it's one of those things where you can either sit back and think, oh, tragedy, why is this happening? How are we going to cope? Or you can just, like I think we did, just get on with it, make what you've got, and never stop making the best of what you've got. You don't just, we didn't just sit back and say, okay, she's on the autism spectrum, and use that as an excuse for not trying any further. We just pushed to get her every advantage that we could. I mean, some families would probably say, okay, autistic, there's nothing we can do about it, let's just put up with it. But no, we always wanted her to have the best life that she could. And so we kept pushing for everything that might be an advantage, might help her out. This was brilliant. Check up all the local organisations, get whatever help was open to us. And yeah, basically we made it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are times when you sort of, especially with someone as far along the spectrum as Mackenzie is, you think to yourself, you get moments where you think there are things she's never going to enjoy because she can't understand the fun of them the way other kids do, like dressing up or playing all sorts of role playing or imaginative games.
Mm.
But you got to stop and remind yourself that she's having fun her way.
Yeah, but she's proved us wrong on that a number of occasions too. She's good at proving us wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on in that head than comes out through the mouth.
Yes, definitely, most definitely.
But criminal genius she will never be. I remember she stole a packet of biscuits out of the cupboard. This was after we were separated. I had some biscuits while she was visiting one weekend. She stole the packet out of the cupboard and then brought it to me to open.
Oh no, she knows how to open it now. She's got a little bit more genius.
Oh, wow.
Really. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's a little magician. You remember the time I couldn't find my phone? I asked you to phone it for me, and she answered. Or there was another weekend. I was still wearing my wedding ring at the time, and we were out one weekend, just doing all the usual places that we do, and suddenly I found out that I discovered I wasn't wearing my ring, and little bit of a panic because it was one of the most important pieces of jewelry I have. So searching the front seat of the car, and Jordan looks around and turns back to me and says, "She's wearing it." I have no idea how she got it off my hand. It's like I say, she's a little magician.
Yeah.
You can say all you like, pity autistic kids as much as you like, saying they're not as bright, not as up with it as the rest of us. But no, there's more going on in there than we realise.
Well, these guys all have had a lot to do with Kenzie over the last 5 months. With me having a YouTube channel, so they've got to see the good, the bad, and the difficult. So they know there's a smart kid in there, definitely.
Brilliant kid in there. But as a father, you think with someone as advanced as Kenzie, you think there are things other fathers get to do that almost certainly won't, like walking her down the aisle or playing stern father, stern parent every time a boyfriend turns up. Little things that you're not going to get to do, but hey, as long as she's happy, as long as she can look after herself, and that's the important thing. And between the two of us, well, the three of us when you bring Rory into it, or the four when you bring Jordan into it.
Yeah,
it's like they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And but Jordan's been brilliant with her. He's like he's probably her biggest fan.
He is her best friend, that is for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I remember picking him up from school one day, and he told me he got into trouble for hitting another student because of something they'd said about Kenzie. And he mentioned that the school had been in touch with you. And me, not knowing whether I should be telling him off for hitting another student or expressing my own natural pride, I sort of cautiously said, "And what did Mum say?" She said, "Oh, she said it was good." She told me, "Way to go."
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always kind of taken my lead from you because you basically do the research. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
And when you don't know, you've got the answers.
If there was one bit of advice that you could give to parents as a dad of a child with autism who have just found out their child's got autism, what would that advice be?
Oh, in some ways, it's very much like the grieving process. You're in denial. You might go through to the anger stage, and then you accept it. And once you get to the acceptance thing, it's a lot easier to move on. And the main advice I would give, it's the same advice I think I'd give any parent, is you're going to get told a lot of things by people about how she should be behaving, what she should be doing, how to get her to do those, all sorts of suggestions like that. You take it all in, and then you find and you use what works for you.
Yeah.
You don't worry about what anyone else thinks should be happening. You concentrate on what you find works. And if something you're told doesn't work, ignore it. I mean, we've had people all the way up trying to give us advice on Kenzie's toilet training. And it would be nice if she was, we tried everything we could. It would be nice if she was, able to take care of it herself. But it's just the way she is. And there's an old saying, the wise man adapts himself to the world, while the fool tries to adapt the world to himself.
Yeah.
And with someone like Kenzie, you've got to adapt your own behaviours, your own expectations. She's not going to adjust except in her own time, when she's ready, if she's ready, and when she wants to. So you basically just have to make allowance, accept that this is the situation you're in, and do the best you can with it.
Yeah.
You're not going to always get it right, but as long as you do the best that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Angela's just saying, why would Kenzie not being able to marry? Angela, it's a maybe. With Kenzie, we've always accepted that we were told by and we've accepted that she is who she is. And Kenzie, unless something majorly changes over the next 10 to 15, maybe 20 years, the chance of Kenzie not marrying is very high. She doesn't understand the complex relationships of that description at this stage. Whether she will at a later date, we don't know. It's just a case of we have to wait and see, but the chances are very slim.
It's one of those not impossible, but very unlikely things.
Yeah. And it is, you do go through like I mentioned this on the live I did on Angie's live, that we go through with every time something changes, whether it's for, especially when it's a degrading change rather than a thing.
Sort of a step backwards rather than a step forwards.
Hi, Natalie. Welcome. DQ's asking, would you put her on birth control or drugs to help with hormones? Since I'm guessing she won't understand the facts. DQ, at this stage, she's a little bit young to have birth control like emotionally young is what I mean. And she will not take pills. So we have to look at more semi-permanent things. We are considering having a marina placed for her, but she hasn't grown in her body yet enough to have that. So yes, she will be going on birth control, because at the end of the day, if Kenzie got pregnant and had a baby, it wouldn't be her raising it, it would be me. And as much as I would probably want to kill the person who got her pregnant for starters, but I don't think it'd be fair to her. She wouldn't understand, wouldn't comprehend what was going on with her body if she got pregnant. So that is not even an option for her at this stage. She's got major fear of needles, let alone putting her through. Kenzie goes through enough with her body being the way it is, and how she processes things. So having a regular medication that isn't liquid form or a jab will just cause anxiety and stress for her. So we are looking at options of something a little bit more semi-permanent. Drive safe, Jeremy. So that, like, hysterectomy is out. I will never ever give my child a hysterectomy unless it was medically needed. We've had it offered a number of times from a very young age that Kenzie could have one done, and I've gone no, because science is always changing and science is always evolving, and you never know what they're going to find out, or whether I do not believe there'll be a cure for autism, because it is genetic, but I do believe that they'll come up with ways to help children with, or adults with autism, live more lives that are more profitable for them. Not saying that Kenzie's life isn't profitable, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't put her in a basket and go, that's too hard to deal with. I go, right, this is where we're at this point in time. I choose my battles. I always have people vouch for this. I don't pick a battle that I can't win, or it's just not worth the stress for her or for me or for the rest of the family. So hope that answers that. What are some of your because it's easy to be forgotten as the dads in the equation, especially when you've got me who just goes boom, boom, boom and gets shit done.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that actually. I remember, as you say, you were getting a lot of the attention, being the mother, having given birth, and sort of the society perception that you were the one most closely involved, which is effectively true. But you were getting a lot of the attention, and I was I didn't actually feel it, but I was kind of the background support worker. And then one day, a friend of ours said to me, "And how are you coping?" And I thought, "Oh my God, I've never thought, I've never actually considered how I was feeling about it until he asked." But
I think
that's another thing to be aware of as a father.
There is definitely, it affects everybody and the family, and that's why I wanted to bring you on today, was to give people the other side of the perspective, because at the end of the day, there is a lot of people in our family, like especially in the close family, that have been there for the last 15 years. There's me, there's you, there's Jordan, and there's Rory, and where me, you, and Rory parent her, and we parent together rather than fighting each other, which is something that we're very grateful for. But there is more to the equation of just Kenzie has autism. There is the aftermath after the diagnosis, and the dealing with the stress of it all, and finding ways to cope with it individually and as a group. And I think that gets a lot of other people's emotions get lost when you're dealing with your own grief of what's happened. and you're dealing with trying to process everything, and we forget about the other person. But I think we've actually done pretty good, especially in recent years, in making sure
Oh, we've
that
done very well, yeah.
the three parents have support consistently. So what would you say
Yeah.
has been one of your brightest moments with Kenzie?
Oh,
I know there's probably a few, but
more than just a few. It's those little moments where she surprises you. Like, you know, on her Magna Doodle, she'd draw what looked like random characters, little random animals and rabbits and things. And then there was one day I looked at what she'd drawn and I thought, she's drawn The Simpsons. They asked her, you know, who's that? Homer. And who's that? Marge. She had actually drawn recognizable Simpsons.
yeah, I think that was when we realized that art.
Yeah, it's those surprise moments.
Yeah. So how did you feel? Because like back in the early days, like when we were told she might not survive to a year, if she did, she'd never walk, talk, or be a vegetable. So this is a two-part question. How did you feel at that particular time? And how do you feel now with the accomplishments that she's made? Natalie, this is Mackenzie's dad.
Back
Mackenzie's
then it was... Hello. Back then, yeah, it was like a big shock. Not sure grief or just this overwhelming dread that we might lose her. That after everything we'd been through to bring her onto the scene, that she might not be with us for long.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt, well, you know, Rosa's going at the same time. And she's been through a lot more than I have bringing Kenzie into the world. So I've got to try and be strong. And so, yeah, I was basically trying to be strong, trying to cope with all of that internally. And I think seeing you doing all the research, finding all the exercises that would help her to walk, and actually seeing that get results. That was
I remember
like
the first time she rolled over was just like such a big thrill for us.
Sorry, sound cut out there for a minute.
When she first rolled over, that was kind of a big deal. Like, it was a massive deal for us. Yeah.
Well, one of the first times she rolled over was almost a heart attack. Remember, she had that baby monitor.
Yeah.
That yeah. And if she stopped breathing, it would sound an alarm. But one night when we were fast asleep, she rolled off it and hit something off. So yeah, big excitement because she was rolling over, but major heart attack because the alarm went off.
Yeah. I mean, we can laugh about it now, but back then it wasn't.
Oh, we can now, but back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always appreciate and Michael for giving us that alarm.
I did. Yeah, I actually gave him a shout out in the first video that I did.
Oh, cool.
Because like without that, I mean, I remember I was talking about how we set up for those first few days, because after the first breathing incident, because we were so scared.
Oh, definitely. It's the same sort of fear I felt. Yeah, same sort of fear I felt a few weeks back when she had that positive COVID test.
Yeah.
I was up till about 4 o'clock in the morning over here, just waiting to hear that she was in a better state.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reaction, pretty much the first thing that goes through your mind. How are you so bloody far on that diamond painting?
I've done lots of
It takes
practice.
me a long time just to be able to pick up. Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
This is just one of 5. This is a 5-piece one, this one.
oh,
So
right.
I've introduced
But
Pete
yeah,
to diamond painting. He's got one and he just needs to actually find space, and we've just been talking about that behind the scenes actually. I bought it for him a year ago for Father's Day your birthday from the kids. And
it
it's a
was a
shimmer
birthday
one.
then, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, looking
needs to
forward to
get
getting it finished, but it's going to take me a long, considering that, as I told Rose, the only space I've got to work on at the moment is the floor, and I put my back out the other day trying.
and I was
But yeah, back to Kenzie.
I was mean and gave him I think it's 85 by 60 for his first ever kit.
Yeah,
So
for my
yeah.
first diamond painting.
Yeah.
I was going to say ordinary painting I can do in a flash, but I've got one I've been working on for 4 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, not so much in a flash. But yeah, getting back to Kenzie, I remember being told that she'd be lucky if she was able to walk, and got online, found these exercises to basically help build up her muscle tone. And the next time she has a pediatrician's visit, she basically walks into the office. The pediatrician looks at her and says, "Rose, what have you done? Seriously?"
Yeah. That's a big shout out and thank you to the Down syndrome community, because they, when I contacted them once, when it was connected, there was a connection between the hypertonia, and it was quite common in Down syndrome. That's where I turned to. That was my first step. And I turned to them, and I turned to these mums and dads who have dealt with the hypertonia, and they were the ones that gave us the exercises. They were the ones that showed me. So when by the time we went to Mothercraft unit, the 2 weeks we were there, we already had this in place, and we were already working on it, because and I remember being accused of hurting my baby because I was manipulating her muscles, and we had to be quite aggressive with her to build the muscles up. But yeah, I honestly,
But
I
it
think
worked.
yeah, it did. Now she won't stop running.
When when she wants to get somewhere, like some Saturdays we go to Bayfair. She knew where the little sweet stall was down the end, and I would pretty much have to either hold her back or run to keep up with her.
Yeah. And that is why, guys, we have a tether for her. Hey, Viv.
Right.
Now we have a tether because Kenzie is a runner. She's really good about walking to the car in the mornings. Like she'll walk to the car and stand by the car. And then when we get out after school, she walks from the car to the house without running, which is really good. She's only done one running escapade here. And that was, we were all standing in the garage door was open. She saw an opportunity and she ran, and Rory chased after her. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, she loves lollies.
Yeah, I remember. I remember a time you and Rory were away one weekend. I was looking after the kids around at your place, and she had safety catches on the windows so that she couldn't get them open and sneak out that way. But I was sitting in the living room. I looked up, and somehow she was out on the lawn. I have no idea how she got out there. Like I said earlier, she's a magician.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And fearless.
Yeah, she is.
Like there was the time you posted about, came up as one of your memories about her climbing out onto the roof at one of the other places.
Yeah. Oh, that was in Reba. We were. Yeah.
Knock on the door, and there's the neighbour. I think you better get out.
Yeah. Okay,
That's,
so
that's another thing is you don't.
Okay.
It's another thing you don't always realise that something isn't safe until they find a way to try it.
Yeah.
When you're making little improvements around the house.
Yeah, it took a few years, but we got there in the end.
Oh yeah. And she's still going to find ways to surprise us.
Oh yeah, she's good at that. So guys, do you have any questions for Pete? Because he does have to go soon. So if you've got any questions.
Yeah. And she does have a damn good singing voice.
Oh yeah, that
Remember
high
it?
C.
Sorry?
That high C.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I can't remember if it was mum's or dad's funeral, but whoever's conducting it does the opening introduction. We hear what sounds like a Maori singer doing the traditional, whatever they call it, forgive me for not knowing. And I can remember thinking, don't recall somebody hiring a singer, but no, it was little Mackenzie hitting just the right note.
I think that was your dad's funeral, I think.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Hi, Nana. Hi, Mama. Okay.
But yeah, I remember when she was very young. There was this little sort of chant she kept doing, Aiki bui bui, Aiki bui bui, Aiki bui bui. None of us could work out what it was until one day she's Aiki bui bui, Aiki bui bui, okay, bui. And something just sort of clicked in my head. It was the I Like to Move It song from Madagascar. I like
Yeah,
to
that was
move
her
it,
favorite
move it.
movie for a while. Yeah.
Oh, when she was coming around, even when I moved into this place and she was coming around, she'd ask for Madagascar at least twice a day.
Yeah,
Eventually, I
she
got her
actually
onto
hasn't watched it
Magic
since we've been
Roundabout.
here. Yeah, she hasn't. We've watched Finding Nemo a few times, but Madagascar, I think she's watched once since we've been here. She kind of does.
Finding
As she's
Nemo.
getting older.
Finding
Eh?
Nemo became a favourite over here. Finding Nemo
Yeah,
eventually became a favourite here, and then one day she asked for Toy Story, and I realised that is probably the one kids movie I don't have.
yeah, we
So
had
to
it on
go out
stream.
during the week and
So Tessa's asking, are you and Rory friends?
yes. I mean, we don't have a lot of similar interests, but yes, we are definitely friends. It kind of took a while for it to happen, but I think one of the turning points was when Jordan was younger, and he was trying to tell Rory, I don't have to do what you tell me to because you're not my dad. So I sort of explained to Jordan that, yeah, well, Rory's like my agent in Tauranga. He gets to do the things over there that I can't do because I'm in Hamilton. Just sort of put everything on a nice even footing.
Yeah, we found our balance.
But yeah, I would definitely say Rory and I are friends.
Yeah. I actually don't know if Rory's got the link to watch this, so I don't know if he actually is watching it all because he's at work. So he might just be listening in the background.
Well, hopefully that won't come as a surprise to him.
Yeah. Well, you never know with him. But yeah, like we've not always seen eye to eye, guys. We are a blended family. But we have always worked through everything. We've always discussed everything. And Pete, even now, still, like, even though we're in two different countries, he has kept up to date with Kenzie's progress every step of the way. And when she got COVID, he was one of the first people who were notified. So it is definitely something that we have worked on.
Don't always get it right, but most of the time we sort of got it working very nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, when we had the lockdowns over here, I'd go and do your shopping for you.
Yeah, he was our we had designated shoppers and when COVID first hit, and Pete was ours. Kathy's asking, do you think you'll come to Australia to visit Kenzie? I can tell you we will be taking her back to visit, to spend time with her dad. So that will definitely be happening. But will you come here to visit her? Is what they're asking.
I'm not much of a traveller, and at the moment I'm unemployment, so my budget doesn't really allow for it. But it's not something I'm going to rule out completely.
So we've got, like, we're kind of
Also,
hoping that either later this year or beginning of next that we'll bring her over. So we'll go to New Zealand for a week or two, and Pete will have Kenzie, and that will be his quality time with Kenzie. And we'll go and visit other people and spend time with friends and family over there. But that'll be time for Pete, and hopefully Jordan will come up and spend time with his dad and Kenzie together. Exactly, Chris. It's not about getting it right.
Work out my budget for that.
You've had 9 months of not having her in your house, and then well, it's all right. We'll give you plenty of warning. Don't panic. We won't just drop it on you. We wouldn't be that cruel.
Why not? That's fine.
Does she do video calls with you, Pete?
Well, Rose and I will have an occasional video call, and Kenzie will be given the chance to say hello, and she'll just sort of look at me and say hello, or something along those lines, and then go back to whatever she's doing on a tablet.
Yeah, the main person she likes to video call is Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a bond between you that unlike any other I've ever seen.
Yeah, these guys got to see a little bit of it yesterday. There is Pete knows that he is welcome to call anytime before 8:30 his time, because that's when Kenzie's quietening down this side. So he knows he can video call her anytime. We have an open policy for that. So.
Or just thinking of a moment with Mackenzie, when Jordan had his art exhibition down in Rotorua, and we were over for one evening to have a look. And Kenzie looked around and had enough. So while you were doing your looking around bit, I was taking her back to the car. And we've been in Rotorua a few times with Kenzie. And as we're going past Atlantis Books, she grabs my hand, drags me inside all the way down to the back where the kids' books were, and picked a Pokemon book that she wanted.
Yeah. I've actually had my nails done, and Jenny and I both got matching nails. We've got bright pink for Kenzie. Actually, this one's probably going to be the better one. But I actually got
Pikachu there.
Yeah, it's Pikachu on the black nail. Yeah.
For Kenzie.
So Kathy's asking, what's your best memory of the kids growing up?
Oh, blimey. The whole thing, even with all the difficulties we've had, has been one big joy after another. There are so many favourite memories that keep coming to mind. Let me think.
For me, it's the
I
birthday
remember
cake.
one Christmas. Oh, the birthday were brilliant. But I remember that Christmas when Kenzie, we were in, I can't even remember the name of the street now, the one over in Beta. And it was one Christmas where we had visitors coming from everywhere. And we'd have the main living room door sort of fenced off so that Mackenzie could look out because she was walking by that stage, and everyone had come in through the other door. And as they came in, she sort of greet them in her own way, take their hand, and basically pull them to where she wanted them to sit and make sure everyone was around the way she wanted to. She was a charming little hostess.
She
There
still
are
does
moments,
that.
some of those weekends where she'd sit at the piano. Occasionally, she'd manage to actually hammer out a tune, a nice little one. And when she got to the end of it, she'd turn and look at you and start applauding. You know, you're supposed to be clap, Daddy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, no, I can't say no. Okay, so we're being asked, was Kenzie's diagnosis a reason that we separated? There were many reasons why we separated. We went through a lot in a short space of time with Kenzie and Bridie dying, and there was a lot of interference from other people, we went through a lot.
We were kind of looking after a lot of other people's grief over Bridie, because we'd been saying that if you want to come and you heard come soon, and a lot of people thought we'll put it off. Then Bridie passed, and suddenly we found all these people coming to us feeling guilty about the fact that they hadn't taken our advice and come to see her while she was still alive. So we were dealing with their grief as well as our own, and we kind of grew in different directions and drifted apart. It's just one of the factors, but that's the one I feel the most. Was that basically we grew in different directions. But, it was never anything to do with Mackenzie.
No,
I think she was the one that kept us being civil for so long.
Yeah.
In spite of everybody else's interference.
Yeah.
She was never the problem.
No. Our main priority after we separated has always been about making sure the children were parented and that they had both their parents in their lives and stuff. And when Rory came on the scene, he was added to that equation, and we've learnt to work together. It's been Pete and I have been separated for 13 and a half years now.
Oh God, I don't want to know the number. Makes me
it's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while.
And yeah. And so we've had a lot of time to deal with the hurt that we've both had. And the one thing that made us focus the most was our children. And that's what we worked towards. No, thanks, Sarah. Sarah said, just going to jump in here and say this. I wish my parents were as civil as you two are. I come from a broken family, and I've seen, and my stepdad, and I saw what he went through as well growing up, and I've seen what my other siblings have done or been put through, and it was something I was very adamant about, wasn't it, Pete? That we had to learn. We started off as friends. That's how we met. We were friends, and
we've seen so many people playing each other off, playing the kids off against each other. The first thing determined was that we weren't going to do that.
Yeah.
I remember last year sometime a friend of ours posted something about sort of an analysis of parents who stay together for the sake of the children. And what do we think of that? And my response was basically, well, Rose and I realized a long time ago that the best way to make our relationship work was not to live together.
Yep. we did. We grew we went through
I think I actually said the best way to make our marriage work was not to live together.
Yeah, we actually didn't divorce until not last year, the year before.
Just over a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah. Pete asked me what I wanted for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I said to him I want a divorce. And so that's what we did. We got a divorce. It was time.
Yeah, I
it was
didn't
time
even have to
both
pay
of
for
us.
it. I helped with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was.
But even though I'm separated for a long time, it's still a major decision, a major change.
Yeah, and we spoke to Jordan about it. We sat Jordan down before we went through all the paperwork, and Rory, of course, Rory was involved in all of it as well. And we sat down and we discussed it as a family, and so we made sure that Jordan understood what was going on. He was actually really, I think, more prepared than what we were for it to actually happen. So yeah, when we first separated, it was very hard for Jordan because he was only 8 at the time. So he was young. But Pete's been at every birthday party for the kids. We've had Christmases together since then, because we're still parents together. And that for us was the most important thing. We don't always see eye to eye. We don't always agree on things. And occasionally we get grumpy with each other. But at the end of the day, the kids were the main priority. And especially with Kenzie's needs and her being so high needs, like that's what we did.
Yep. Occasionally get grumpy, like getting close to midnight saying a car's just crashed into a power pole outside and knocked our power out. Can you come and get Mackenzie?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, please.
Oh, that was just like
Yeah,
she was still in the house and the power
yeah.
the power pole was on our roof. So yeah. Oh, that was scary that time. We had to wait for the fire brigade.
As much as I complained about it, there was no way I was not going to do it.
No. Whenever I've had
even when I was living in Hamilton,
sorry,
and you were over here. When I was living in Hamilton and you were over here, you phoned up one day to say, "I had very bad flu. Could I come and get the kids?" So, yep, get in the car, come over here. I think it was actually my first drive over this way.
That was when I had swine flu.
I remember almost getting lost on the way back.
Yeah, that was when I had swine
flu. Places I drive to now and think, how did I get lost here that time?
Yeah. So Pete moved to Tauranga eventually after his mum died to actually be closer to the kids, and then Jordan moved to Rotorua, and we decided to move to Australia. So, but he's got a new life in Tauranga, and he's for the first time for the first time in a long time, he's having time to discover who he is as a person now.
I'm still working on that. Not sure who I am, but I got the time to find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back to New Zealand for a visit. 2 reasons. One, I want to catch up with everyone, obviously. 2, I'm going to need a break by the time I get there. And Pete's one of the very few people who I can say, here's Kenzie, she's all yours, and I know she'll be taken care of. Because if you can't trust the other parent,
well, I mean, I remember the last years before you moved, I was basically having Kenzie every weekend and looking after school. And
that was when I was
in the mornings I'd see her off to school. So.
Yeah.
Getting almost as much time if we were still living together.
So, apparently we're impressing people right now. Amber says, I want to thank you for sharing a father's perspective. Yeah. Amber says, I want to thank you for sharing a father's perspective. My ex-husband never tried to be a part of the parenting aspect of our son with autism, so I only really know a mother's perspective. Well, that's why I said, Amber, we wanted to kind of share the different aspects, because there are three adults that help raise Kenzie, and well, four now that Jordan's one, and we've all had an input, and you know it takes work and takes organising, but we get there. Once we got everybody else to stay out of it, I think that was when we started to make progress and actually being able to work out what it was we wanted for our children. So one thing we haven't touched base on today, and we'll do that because I know you've got to go soon. When we got the four, yeah, it's right. He's relaxed now. He's not so nervous. When we got the 4P11 diagnosis, how did that feel for you? Because that was a big changing point for us.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't going to fix anything, but it was as if we had an answer.
Yeah, it kind of, for me, explained what we went through.
Sorry. Yeah, everything in that article that you showed me, it was like ticking off the boxes on a checklist.
Yeah.
And the only irritating thing was that appointment we had that I came over from Hamilton for. And the doctor said, well, yeah, that article's not exactly accurate, and we don't really know what's going on.
And we were trying to explain to her that actually that article is everything we went through.
Well, this article exactly fits everything that we've experienced.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, because it's a fiction thing. When bad things happen, you're looking for someone or something to blame. And getting that diagnosis was like finding that something for us. And,
it gave us the answers.
Yeah, it was like a focus. And Kenzie's condition was vague. We don't know why it happened, but it did, sort of thing. It was okay. Yeah. Here's what we think is the reason.
Yeah. I remember her saying we needed to be prepared for her, that this would be as good as she would get. And I remember saying to her, watch this space.
Oh, yeah. Who was right, the doctor or Rose? No, the son.
Well, it wasn't the doctor.
It wasn't the doctor, but it's like I said earlier, when you've got the diagnosis, you can either say, okay, this is the way she's going to be and give up, or you can just keep pushing. You never stop pushing. Never stop trying to find ways to improve things or things that might help.
Yeah. We always did it. I've always done it in a way where it's been gentle for Kenzie. Like, it's never been. I do not support ABA therapy at all. I'm just going to put that out there, guys. I know some people do, but it was not something. It's not something I support. I have very strong opinions on that, and I found teaching her, listening to her actually, like with the music. We taught her to talk using music and repetition. And we used pick cards, and when we were offered support, we used it, but it was never saying that it was never, we're going to take your technology away from you unless you start talking. That's what ABA is like. We never used that. We did do that, got into the habit of, if she came up and when she wants something really yummy, she had to use the words, and the reward was she got what she wanted, and she learned really quickly. Like, she wanted bickies. So she'd come up and she'd go, bickies, please, mummy. And then when I'd go to her weight, I'd get a kiss. Because she figured if she got a kiss, that would just sweeten the deal. She learned to be, she's quite manipulatively smart, that one.
I remember a time in the supermarket, and we're going down the confectionery aisle. Mine, I took a wrong turn. And she grabs the tray and pulls it to the stop. And there's chocolate piece, Daddy. And I said, no, Daddy hasn't got enough money for chocolate today. So she pauses and thinks for a minute and says, "Dairy milk, please, Daddy."
That was the first
And that
time
was
you
one of
realised.
the that was the first indication I had that dairy milk.
Yeah.
I knew that it was another name for chocolate. So yeah, I had given. But when you get a little surprise moment like that, you don't mind giving in to her.
No.
Especially when she uses the manners.
Yeah. She's very good at her pleases and thank yous. Her thank yous are very quiet, and you do have to remind her to say thank you because she does forget. But she's fairly good with her manners. And Sarah, you're welcome for the confetti. You're welcome.
I was at Gypsy Fair earlier this year. It was the first time I got a chance to go around and have a really good look at everything. It was the other times I'd have Mackenzie with me, and she'd basically take my hand, drag me to the floss store, and once she got what she wanted, it was drag me back to the gate again.
I've been thinking about getting a candy floss maker for her.
Oh, I still use mine on occasion. I probably shouldn't, but I do.
I was going to be smart and say at your age you're allowed to do whatever you like.
I've been allowed to do whatever I like for about
13
a year.
years?
No, a lot of that time I've had to fit in with other people.
I was being smart at my own expense. Okay, guys, do you have any other questions for Pete and I, or just Pete, that you guys want to know? Like, we're pretty much open books. You guys know this by now, so don't be afraid to ask. You're welcome, Chris, for the confetti too. So confetti, Pete, is when they're both working on art pieces. Sarah's working on my TARDIS Moon one, and Chris is who I created the frog for. So they're working on pieces where it's got a lot of different color changes in it. That's called confetti. Like this whole canvas is pretty much confetti. So suck it up, Buttercup. My whole canvas is confetti. It's all right. Chris is good, but he knows.
What's the one?
So yeah, ask some question, guys, because we'll let Pete go soon, and then we'll just have a general chit chat. Because this will be there's one more evening one Thursday night with Rory, and then tomorrow we have Gracie on tomorrow night. When it actually shows interest in a boy, how will you handle it? With a shotgun. And I'm a good shot, just saying. I honestly, I don't know. I can't. I don't have that answer.
I've got 3 whips here, so. But no, it's not something we can imagine really happening.
Kenzie's. It's not just the autism with Kenzie. It's the whole 4P11, and she doesn't think like we do. Like she really doesn't. She doesn't have the logical thinking that we do. So if it happens, we'll deal with it, obviously. But honestly, I don't have an answer for that one. I'm sorry, DQ. Chris wants to know, when Kenzie and Rose decided to move to Australia, what was your feeling on that? Oh, it's a hard one. Be honest.
That is a hard one. Yeah, that's a very complicated one. I mean, I'm sort of, I think I'm at the very mild end of the autism spectrum myself, but I've never been tested. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just an asshole.
No, I think you're on the spectrum too.
So, sorry?
I think you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with change. So here was this big change coming up, and wasn't comfortable with it. I knew I was going to miss both Mackenzie and Rose. But I also had this voice in the back of my head saying, you know, this could be an opportunity. This could be your chance to be doing something for yourself and not focusing all your attention on other people. Before I moved over this way, I was looking after my aging mother. And so in most of the time since Rose and I separated, my attention's been focused on other people. So I had this thing in the back of my mind saying, okay, this could be your chance to focus on yourself for a while. But at the time, the biggest thought was, oh, fuck, this is a hell of a shock. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
We were nice. We didn't just drop the bombshell on him. We did discuss it with him, and we did get his permission to take Kenzie. So it wasn't just something to say. It wasn't us saying we're going to move.
There was never in my mind of, is there anything I can do to stop this? It was, okay, I'm going to let them go. I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to let them go because it's going to be best for them, and especially it's going to be best for Mackenzie. So yeah, it was a difficult thing to him, but it's one of those things that happens, and when you've got a family like ours.
Yeah, and it's definitely. I mean, we've had, you know, it's been difficult adjusting for us as well because, like, I don't have in New Zealand. I had a lot of different supports in place. I had support for Kenzie, and
I know who that
and I
was.
had, well, not just you. There was, like, you know, Shah and Glenda and Amanda and. So there was, like, you know, we had that support with just, like, you know, everybody, with me personally, with Kenzie. You know, my best friend, like Shah, she used to come over whenever I had surgeries, and she would stay in my house for a week and look after me, and Pete would have Kenzie, and then when Kenzie would come home, she would then take over the caring of her. So I could recover from surgeries, because I didn't just have small surgeries. Yeah, so that took some adjusting. I don't get the breaks that I would normally get. I probably get one once every few months. Because, like, the Saturday night we're going to Grace's, Rory's looking after Kenzie, we're going away for the night. Yeah. Well, we're both very honest people, Chris, so yeah. Any other questions, guys?
One of the other things about Kenzie is that she is what I would call a happy sick. Yeah. When she gets sick, unless she's very low down with symptoms, you wouldn't really know anything.
COVID was a very good example of that.
Yeah, when she's showing symptoms, you know there's something very wrong. It's like when a couple of years back we took her to get her vaccinations, and they said as we were leaving, she's probably going to be very drowsy for the rest of the day. Oh no, within half an hour of getting home, she was bouncing.
Yeah, she bounced off the walls. It was like day 2 of COVID, she started, like, within the first 24 hours of COVID, she started to bounce back once the fever broke. A fever's knock her around, but the rest of it, she just kind of thinks, she was tired in times. But yeah.
But yeah, that night kind of took me back to when she was very small.
Yeah. Oh, it did me. My blood. It's, you know, there's a saying, when your blood runs cold. We've had that so many times with Kenzie, especially when she was little, where she'd just go limp in your arms and your blood would just run cold. And there was a lot of trauma attached to that for me emotionally, as well as Pete. And it took us years and years of recovery to, like, we would still freak out when she got sick. You know, she's going to be okay. We were overprotective, but we'd been through a lot to be that way. When you've got a child that you've had to resus a few times, I mean, I know for both of us, when Bridie died, it was automatic, but even then it was still very triggering for us because we'd been through it so many times with Kenzie, that when we had to do it to our adult child, it was very emotional for us. Things happen in your life that trigger you, and it's not always easy, but it's what we've been through as a couple, as parents. It's made us who we are. It's made us be the parents that we can be. We haven't always got it right, like you guys heard yesterday. But we've done the best we can, and that's what matters.
Yeah, we put the effort in. I remember as a baby, she used to take forever to get to sleep. And then the slightest wrong movement, she'd wake up. I remember timing it one day, having her all wrapped up and carrying her up and down the hallway, walking her up and down the hallway because she loved the movement, reciting Dr. Seuss to her for about 3 hours one night before she eventually went to sleep.
Oh, that was the Sneetches.
And
I remember that.
Back in my arms.
Yeah.
I still remember large parts of the Sneetches, another story.
Yeah.
But it's just things that as a father you do.
Yeah. And I think once we sleep trained her, that's when it kind of all got a little bit easier. And that training is still in place even now, because she has a set routine at night time, and as long as she knows her routine, there's certain aspects of it, she's good. It's been tweaked over the years. Like now at night, she likes to have her Milo at night because it's winter. And it's coming into winter, and it's like as soon as the cold weather comes in, she kind of clicks in and knows that it's Milo time. She could have cold Milos, don't get me wrong, during any time she likes to throughout the year, but for some unknown reason at winter, that's when she likes her Milos the most.
That's how she gets the calcium into her.
And lots of other vitamins too. Chris says, we love Kenzie. I've interacted with her and she's a very special child. Thank you for sharing her with us. Thank you. It's for both of you. Oh, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
We couldn't not share her with the world. She's such a bright
It's the sort of special kid that you love to share with people.
Yeah. All right, guys, last minute of questions, and then we're going to let Pete go. It's coming up to lunchtime for him. In a few minutes, there's a bit of a delay with the programs, but anyone got any other questions? Going once, going twice. Nope, no one's got any more questions. I know they're silent.
I guess we've explained everything.
Well, they're never normally this silent. That's why I'm worried.
Either I terrified them or they're awestruck. I'm going to go with terrified.
Chris goes, thanks for coming in and sharing, Pete. It was a pleasure to meet you. Angie says, thank you so much for joining us today, Pete, and sharing your story. Here we go. Rose.
It's been a pleasure.
Hi, Rose. Just popped and say hi. We'll watch replay. Awesome. Hi, Rose. Lisa says, nice listening to you, Pete. Enjoy your lunch.
Good thing I went and did the shopping earlier.
Yeah, I know it was last minute getting you in. I've been humming and hurrying about it because I didn't want to. There was a few things for me personally that I had to work through, and it was nothing to do with you at all. It was just me being emotional and trying to work out the best way to do it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in last minute, Pete, and we've had quite a journey together, and because we're parents together, that journey will never end.
Guess what? We're still on the journey, even if we're separate.
Yeah. Gabby says, thank you for joining, Peter. Thank you for sharing your story. All right, we will let you go. Thanks once again. Obviously, we're going to be in touch in the future because that's what we do. Cindy found it extremely informative. Cool. Thank you for coming, Peter. Kenzie's story is amazing, and I'm glad we can be a part of it. You guys are all part of this chapter, so yeah.
We have a very extended family when it comes to Kenzie.
Oh yeah, this is her diamond. This is Mama's diamond painting family, and I have to share Kenzie because they'd ground me if I didn't. So she's got a whole lot of aunts and uncles.
I remember
now.
one weekend. I remember one weekend taking Mackenzie into the Wilt and buying her some sweets. As we're being served at the counter, the girl behind the counter looks at her and says, "Is that Mackenzie?" "Yes." "I follow her mother online."
Yeah, that happens a little bit now.
Anyway, it has been fun answering questions, sharing my little girl with everyone.
Well, thanks for coming, Pete, and we'll let you go.
And maybe if you call me back sometime, I won't be so nervous.
Yeah, no worries. All right, thanks for
later.
coming. Bye.
Now, how do I sign out of it? Bye.
I'll remove you and you just close. Oh. Oh, yeah, he's gone. Well, guys, there you go. That was the kid's dad. Yeah, we just thought, we'll make this a balanced to get all sides of the stories, and I just think it helps people to understand different views. If you're a dad, you'll understand his dad. If you're a mum, you'll understand mine. If you're a sibling, you'll understand, So yeah. So now you just got me. So if you guys have got questions, feel free, keep asking, guys. I'll answer as best as I can. This whole month is about autism awareness. You guys have got all month. You can bombard me as much as you like on here with questions. So yeah, we've still got 40 minutes of live time. So yeah. As you can see, I'm working on my 5-piece canvas. For those that don't know, I'll give you guys a bird's eye view at the end. It was not the canvas I had prepared for the autism event, but this is the backup because it's got the blue in it. Jenny is sitting in the background in the chair doing work behind the scenes. I can come in. I just wanted to give. Yeah. Don't please do not take this way. There is no such thing as a borderline autistic. You either are or you're not, and you're either on. That's pretty much you're on the spectrum or you're not. You're either high needs autistic or autism child, like Kenzie is, or you are a low needs one, which means you are high function, what they used to call high functioning. So my advice to you is do not be afraid. It is not scary. It is not something to be afraid of.
Whoa, what happened there?
Oh, I'm muting you. We're in the same room.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Whoa, that was fun.
Can you guys still hear Jenny? Let us know if you can hear Jenny. Can you say something?
Hello, Charlie.
Otherwise, we'll mute mine or just have yours on. Yeah, sorry, guys.
Hey, I have to make a grand entrance.
That you did. There is a lot more to a diagnosis than that, DQ, and I would recommend seeing a psychologist to get a proper assessment. Please don't self-assess yourself. Go get a proper assessment done.
I wanted to give Rose and Pete time to have the stage because it is an important topic.
Okay, and they can just hear. It's because my mic's here. So what we'll do is we'll mute mine. No.
That's okay. I'll just have to speak up.
You just have to shout, woman, shout.
I can do that really good.
I know you can. What do I do with my drink?
Of course, Lisa, I've got to make an entrance so everyone can hear me.
We need to put subtitles underneath there. Actually, that'd be really good. Something we should look at doing. Actually, to be inclusive with the deaf community.
Yeah, but that could be dangerous with the language.
Good point. Sorry, Jeremy. Okay, so the puzzle piece. There's many versions of the puzzle piece. Okay, so let me just be very clear. The puzzle piece is being phased out because it's been used to a lot of the older autistic community now are coming out and saying how they've been treated like they're a missing puzzle piece, like they're the missing piece of a puzzle or they're missing a piece. So it's become quite an offensive thing in the autism community. So it's been phased out and they're bringing in the rainbow infinity symbol because that, or a rainbow butterfly, but with a jigsaw puzzle on it is still being used. But yeah, I mean, guys, you guys know, here we go. I actually have it tattooed on me, which I did when Kenzie first started talking. So this is when she did the Pikachu and Pokemon. I got this done. So I will actually get this covered over because I will do a sleeve like I've done for Jordan. I'll do a sleeve for her sometime over the next year and a half, 2 years. And this will all get covered in with probably either pieces of her artwork or I might get 2 little Pikachus put in there. Who knows? I haven't quite decided, but this is all going to be Alice in Wonderland themed with a caterpillar on it and bubbles coming off it, and each bubble will have one of her cake themes in it, just like Jordan's is cupcakes and teapots. You're leaking and draw more, Jeremy. Draw more. I forgot what number I'm doing. 413. I'm doing Y. Why?
I'm going to share a chair.
Yeah. Cola is making Jenny share the chair. So, guys, it's been a lot of information thrown at your way in the last 3 days with my story on Angie's and then Jordan's yesterday and Pete's today. And we've got one more, just because I'm trying to give you guys a broad spectrum of how it affects everything.
Yeah, I've taken over her chair, so she's making me work for it.
She is.
And I can't get up because she's jumping my spot.
And she does. Yeah, I was doing with 413. See, I'm just finished too.
But she's like the perfect little heater.
I've not been 100% the last couple of days due to not sleeping properly and my breathing still giving me a little bit of issues. But I have Jenny here for support, so that's been good. I had my first minor flare last night of hives because I overdid the bacon. But I'm good now. I know, Sarah. It's a beautiful painting. I knew you'd love it. Oh, and thank you. No, let me thank you for inviting me to join because It is something I'm extremely passionate about, as you know. And I am very honoured that you asked me to be a part of it. And I'm very honoured to be joining you and Christopher for next month's event as well. So that's awesome. And I do things differently. I'm new to this YouTube world from all of you. And I know I'm in your face 5 days a week. So it feels like it's been longer, but it really has only been 5 months. And I have different approaches to things. I just got a new Apple iPad and pencil, so yay, more drawing. Jeremy, let me. I'm going to tell you, you need to invest in one of these. Trust me, you will thank me. They're not cheap, but they're worth it.
No, they weren't badly priced.
No,
They're
they're still not cheap.
worse.
Yeah, you can get smaller versions, but yeah. I just thought those containers up for you too. You don't have a canvas for next month? Will there be a 5-piece picture like what Rose is doing? We can 5-piece any of the pictures, guys.
There is there is an option to have it. It is let me get the link for you. And there always has been.
This is my first 5-piece, but it's not going to be my last. I have another one I plan to do, which we've already sized and priced and stuff. I've just got to be able to afford it. I'm doing K. That's what I'm doing. This is the one I started this was my isolation project. I have the other 4 canvases hanging up over there.
If you want a custom canvas as a panel canvas, there is the link there. All you need to do is send the picture in to us. I don't render them myself. I get the suppliers to render them, and then what I will do is I will send you the renders.
A 5-piece is fun because it breaks it down and thing. Do you have anything with blue in it, Sarah, other than, mind you, I honestly don't think you'll finish. Oh, the way you diamond paint, you might finish it actually.
Well, next month is Pride Month, isn't it?
Yeah, next month is Pride Month. So you need just something with rainbows in it, I believe. I haven't really got the ins and outs. I've only literally just joined forces, so I have to get a lot of information yet. Now, I was hoping to release some special art pieces for that event, and sadly, between the shipping and me and Kenzie getting COVID, that hasn't happened. But I will be releasing new artwork that is based around the LGBTQ plus community, art that is more suited to them and their relationships, and they will be done leading up to and over the course of Pride Month, and they'll be available for next year as well.
Yeah, that would work, Sarah.
Yeah, it's got rainbows in it, I'm sure. Oh, I get to play some AB. Where did I put my ABs? Ah, they're not labeled, that's why. I'm waiting for my... So if you guys notice, I ran out of labels on my label maker. So all of this is going to be changed today because they're due to be delivered today. This is my first time on a canvas that I have literally sat here and custom it the way I want it. What you guys can't really, oh, you can see it now. This is all ABs and the numbering of the clock. For those that want to know which one I'm doing, over the panel. Oh, my stomach's growling. This is the image I'm doing at the moment. So all these numbers in here are being turned into ABs because I just think it looks better. So you got 1, 2, 3. It's a clock. So yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't go shopping. We need to work out what we're doing for lunch.
Got steam buns there if we need to. pork steam buns.
I'll continue with mine once I get back home.
Nice, Chris. That was a big section you cut too. So I do have release paper now, people, and I have my 310s for rebirth for next month because that's the canvas I'm doing for next month.
And she has a roller.
And I have a roller that doesn't squeak, but that's up in the sorry, love. That's up in the lounge because I'm still doing the giddy up one. So this baby,
Oh my God, I didn't get away from this week.
it's still here. Oh, Kath, I can imagine. So yeah, rebirth will be back on my table next month because I've got it here and it can be used. Rebirth stands for so much, especially with Pride Month. So yeah, I will be doing that one. And then my next canvas is will be for July, and that's the July event. And we've got so much coming up. And then in August, I committed myself to my proper rounds, Josephine Wall.
Why did you made you commit to that?
No, actually, to be quite honest, I'm actually, as much as I'm not fussed on rounds. The picture that was chosen by you guys, Butterfly Princess, is definitely one that I want to do.
I seriously can't believe, like, when I suggested it, I wasn't suggesting anything to that magnitude. I was just suggesting something maybe smaller, but
Yeah.
you went out and jumped all in head first and went, no, I'll do Josephine Wall.
If I'm going to do a round, I'm going to do one I'm going to enjoy doing. That's how I look at it.
have a guess what? Who's that one?
What?
It's not going to be the small size.
Of course it's not.
It's not going to be the medium size.
It's going to be 100 by 120.
Hell yeah!
It's all right. I've got another. That doesn't daunt me. There's one hanging up over there. No, so there is, I don't know if there is or not, but in August, so just popping in and out will be in our chat. Can't chat, but g'day to all the people.
No, Gracie, I have a photo to show you Saturday night.
Oh God, that's not going on this channel ever, ever, ever. Do not. I will be so horrified. You can show close friends, yes, but that's it. That's no. It's the view that people don't need to see.
That was my bad photography skills, but
Yeah.
it's a hilarious photo.
It is. I'm headless. Lisa, I don't think there's a J-Wall event in August, but so what happened was Jenny challenged me to do rounds, and we got you guys to choose which canvas it was. I selected 3. You guys got to vote on which one you wanted, and they chose Butterfly Princess by Josephine Wall. So I will be doing that one and starting that one at least because it's going to be a big one in August and doing my first rounds. No, Chris, you do not need to see that photo. No one needs to see that photo at all. No, no, no. I am definitely prefer the squares, but that's just me. But I will be doing the rounds and I will give you guys my honest opinion when I'm doing it. I have not done our rounds, so as Jenny pointed out, I needed to have an understanding of our product, and to do that, I have to do one. So the size doesn't scare me, Jen. When it's finished, it might be another story. No, Chris, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it.
She will kill me, Chris.
Tessa, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. That's what we just wanted to give you guys an understanding from our perspective of what life is like for. I mean, you guys get a piece of it when I'm on lives in Kenzie's home. You've heard the bad tantrums and you've heard stuff. So You know, it's not always easy, but there is, as you've heard, there's a lot of beautiful moments that come with being her family, and it's amazing. I do square with painting. I love concerning squares, but if I get a choice, I choose that. Well, see, Natalie, when you buy from us, you've got the option. It doesn't, regardless of whatever image. Just saying.
I am not sending it, Chris.
I will not. No, I will not. Do not put words in my mouth. I will not. She knows I will not. She knows why I will not. Maybe when I'm drunk on Saturday, but it would take a lot of alcohol to get me that drunk. Just saying.
That can be arranged.
Wow, that's high praise from you, Angie. I am missing our squares. The only squares I'm using from ours at this point in time is my ABs. But this one's not too bad. The other one's a nightmare. This one hasn't been too bad. Natalie, a lot of people don't. So, look, seriously, don't beat yourself up about it. A lot of people, unless they've had to live with it. But like this quote says on the bottom of the screen, guys, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. Everyone's different. It does, Amber. It does. Like, yeah, I totally agree there. Yes, we are going to Gracie's. You'll be lucky. You guys will get to see the karaoke though, and the gaming. Oh, that's good, Sarah. I'm glad they are. Oh, Angie.
We have alcohol here.
Look, I have a few canvases that aren't ours. Obviously, I have the 5-piece. I have a Disney mystery that was given to me, and I have a Baby Yoda, which I won apparently. Yeah.
Sure, Chris, you've just got to get there before we drink the alcohol.
And with the games we're playing, it's going to be a quick night. Actually, no, it won't be, because we'll just sit there. We'll slow down after a certain point. Need to find dice.
Oh, go and buy some.
I'm pretty sure we've got some here. I'm pretty sure. I've just got to find them. My house with no dice. Anyone that knows me personally would understand that me and having no dice is not an option. I know they're here somewhere. Oh, I've got messages.
I dread to think, Natalie.
Ooh. What do I do? Oh, okay, so I am really good at making up drinking games. And so, yeah, that's kind of where it's going. And I don't do nice drinking games. I do ones that get you fucked up.
Like
Eh?
as long as I don't break my neck, I'm fine.
My other daughter. Oh, bless your bum. Strip drinking apps. Oh, no, the world ain't ready for that,
No,
Natalie.
not going to happen.
She knows that that's a safe one. But the 3 girls are going to let their hair down and we're going to have a bit of fun. Oh, this is a new tip on this pen because my metal tip's up on the other pen. And the putty's working its way through it at the moment.
I'm just sort of relaxing, Ange.
She has been relaxing, and you should just like show them where Cola is.
There's the collar there. I've got to share the seat, but that's fine. I can do that.
Like she gives you a choice.
Yeah, no, she doesn't give me a choice.
No. Oh, goodness.
My mind at the moment is to all over the place to dye and paint.
Yeah. Now remember, guys, we're not on tomorrow morning. Our lives will not be live in the morning. However, I will be coming on in the evening at 7:30 Melbourne time, where the lovely Grace is going to be joining us and to tell hers and offspring number 1's story. So that will happen tomorrow night. Thursday, you're going to end up with probably 2 lives because there'll be one in the morning and one in the evening because that's when we can get Rory on. Oh, she literally grabbed her. She literally did grab her. Is that you vibrating or me vibrating?
Me. I got dragged into the kitchen. Her first words to me after the big smile and almost a hug was chocolate. It will be 7:30. When Rose does lives of the night, it's later than when I do because I do work around hubby.
Where I work around Kenzie.
Yeah. I won't be anywhere. I doubt I'll be anywhere near the live tomorrow night. I'll be probably listening in the background.
Also, I want you guys to remember, once again, every parent has a different autism story. We'll have similarities, but so there will be most likely things that are different, that differ from what I've been through and what Gracie's been through. So just ask you guys to remember that, take that into consideration, and be respectful.
Listen here, olive oil. It was my phone vibrating.
Good night, Sarah. Take care.
Night, Sarah.
Friday's live, guys, there will be as a very special guest in my life. And as I said, if you're a moderator, I would love it if you guys can be here and be on board. Not that I don't trust you, but just in case we get trolls or horrible people coming in. This is someone that we seriously need to protect, and he's been through a lot. His name is Warren. He is on the spectrum. You will not get to see him on camera unless he is willing to do so. Most likely you won't, but you'll get to hear him.
I've just been called verbal.
Verbal. I'll be your Popeye, Stacey. I like spinach.
And if you miss the live on Friday night and you want to know why Stacey is called olive oil, watch the live Friday night and you'll understand.
Oh, God, they don't need to watch that. That's like...
Yeah, well, if Olive's got the vibrator, she doesn't need Popeye. Just saying.
Is it a lube thing? Well, if you haven't seen Popeye, maybe I do wonder about that. Actually, now that you think about it,
What?
why they named olive oil olive oil?
Start eating your spinach roast.
I can't. It's high histamine. It's a nightshade.
Awesome, Berta.
That is good news. Rose please the 5th. We don't have the 5th down here.
No, she was one of the original swingers. She had 2 of them on the go.
Who was the other one? Was
No
it Pete?
drills? Send me an email, Berta.
Oh, that's not good.
Bearing in mind, I've got a lot going on in the next 2 days, so I will sort it out. So send me an email and I'll deal with it. And let me know, send me an email and let me know which canvas it is. Send it to support@uniquelyoursdownunder.com.au. Yeah, I went and saw that at the movies. Robin Williams' version of Popeye.
He was my favourite actor for many, many years. Still one of my favourites. My other top favourite is Johnny Depp, but that always has been. And oh, you should hear the conversations that have been going on around about that court case in my house. Oh, Natalie, it's broken me a couple of times. I have to admit. Agreed, Kath. Agreed. She has a lot to answer for, and she needs to be held accountable. She should be fined and imprisoned for crying wolf. Ruined a man's life. I've been following it for a while, so I've been kind of on the bandwagon with the whole anti-Amber Heard for quite some time. Signed petitions left, right, and centre. There was a audio of her going, "My reputation has been ruined." And I'm thinking to myself, well, you frickin' ruined it. You're the one that's telling lies. I don't know how she got through the last one, considering there's audio evidence, there is video evidence, and there is photographic evidence. And there are eyewitnesses, and I still don't know how she got away with it.
Who was that, DQ?
That was one of the Naomi Judd.
She committed suicide, did she?
I don't know. I didn't think it was suicide, was it? I don't think it was suicide. I think she'd been sick for quite some time. It does happen, Natalie. I've had a couple of friends go through it.
I think it goes back to the non-believing. She was sort of
I don't
the
think it was.
non-belief that men can also be subject to domestic violence, and it's a very hidden taboo subject. We need to take the taboo out and make it fine for people to talk. Hey, Tina.
All right, I'm just looking this up because.
Hey, Mr. Kalasa.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry. I hadn't had an update. It was suicide due to mental health. That is so sad.
It just goes to show how important it is to check on people. That
Yeah.
anyone in anywhere can do something like that. If you think someone's not okay, check up on them.
Always. So Rory got to meet his first huntsman spider today. Just to share that information.
Oh, that would have been fun for him.
He sent me a photo.
Was it a big one?
Nah, I don't think it was very big.
If you would have seen the big one that I met.
No. Just no. No.
I was just gonna say, think of the bread and butter plate.
No.
And
Yeah.
it was waving at me.
Kenna, I am so sorry to hear that, hun. It is Mental Health Awareness Month this month, and I know we're doing the autism event during it, but trust me, mental health is definitely something that I am a big supporter of as well. Having dealt with it myself and watched other people struggle. I would be surprised if she does a live, if she does perform live on Saturday, DQ, so do not be surprised if it's cancelled.
Yeah, Chris, they get quite big.
Mental health actually goes hand in hand with an autism event, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people with autism struggle with mental health issues and anxiety in a very big way. My anxiety has been very high this week. Because I've been sharing deeper parts of myself and Kenzie's story with you guys, and it's always quite nerve-wracking. Oh, it's almost time. Let me get a section finished because I was talking too much. But okay, so I'm going to give you guys a bird's eye view of the canvas. Going up, up, up. There we go.
That's looking awesome.
Get it to focus. There we go. It's focused. It's very sparkly, very cheapy. It is a nice canvas. There we go. A little more.
My sad thing is what Amber Heard has done to Johnny Depp and the false allegations. It's put females in an extremely bad light.
No, I think it's put her in an extremely bad light. Seriously, there are women do abuse their men. Like, it does happen, guys. This is not a once off kind of thing. It has definitely happened. Yes, Gracie, you all love. Watch the one yesterday first if you haven't. Yeah. I know, GQ is so hard. I'm a big Judd fan. I know most of their songs. Used to sing most of them in karaoke. So thank you, Angie.
But you really don't know what pushes someone to do what they do. and why they do it?
She had battled with hepatitis C for a very long time. You know, that might have played a part in it. That does play a part with your mental health as well. It is very hard. I have a friend whose wife used to beat him. I've had a couple of them actually, and the mental and emotional abuse that goes with that for them, and they would too, because men are told that they have to do a stiff upper lip.
Grown men don't cry. It's
Yeah.
not good for men to cry. It goes back to years gone by when the man was supposed to be this big, tough, strong, not crying, not showing emotion person. It takes a lot for some men to show emotion.
Snow Cake. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to watch that one. Oh, Gabby, I hope so. I hope it at least takes some fear out of a family who are just starting their journey. I really, really do. Depict autism and how they get it right or wrong. Yeah, exactly. Chris spoke correctly. Yep, I used to too perform those songs. I grew up singing the Judds at a very young age. Grandpa was was the first song I ever learnt, and then Love Can Build a Bridge, and Love Is Alive, and yeah, I can rattle them all. Oh, Sarah, put on there. Me too, Amber. Me too. Obviously, you've seen I've raised a very sensitive young man who talks about his feelings quite openly, which is very good. Oh, it's one of my favourites too. I used to sing that one with Bridie. It's a very special meaning. Yeah, there's so many. Well, all we can hope is that she's found peace, and all we can do is send our love and support to the Judd family, and it's a double whammy for them. All right, guys. Hi, Linda. We're just signing off, my lovely. Oh, no, Sarah. Oh, no. Get those tweezers out. So I got my nails shaped the way I did, so I can literally flick my drills out if I need to, and I can pick them up so much better.
I will warn you today, I am not happy.
Okay.
How the hell a mistake like that could happen, I don't know.
With the no drills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a replacement canvas, it was an order.
All right, guys. That's us for the day.
Yeah, we need to go and get food. My tummy's
Yeah, I'm starting to feel lightheaded.
screaming at me.
Good night, good night for those in the northern hemisphere. Have a great day for those that are in the southern. Please take care of yourselves. Be nice.
The matching nails before we go.
Yeah. Be nice. Love hard. Love people. Remember, be nice to people. You never know what they're going through. Be supportive. Be caring. Be understanding. Bless your bums. Sarah, I have no idea.
Sarah, only you know where you put those drills in, so it's not going to matter. It makes it your own.
Oh, look at that dog.
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, everyone. I won't be on tomorrow. I will be on Thursday.
All right, guys, we're going to go eat. Bye-bye.
And bye from Carlo too.